Hello. Did y'all know that according to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be able to fly? Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think. I don't care what I just knocked over. Actually, I don't know what I knocked over. Oh, my leap motion. I guess it leaped in motion. Hey, I'll be here all week. Oh, God. How are y'all doing? I think we've all had an interesting week. Oh, dear God. Yeah. It's been a time. It's been a time. It's been a Timmy time, Tammy. So, how are y'all doing this tonight? I have been very sick all week, for reasons that I'll delve into as soon as I get my Stream Deck working, because I forgot to initialize it because I'm so smart like that. I am extremely big brain. Trust me, I have a brain. I would know. Oh my God. Anyway, I hope that y'all are doing about as well as you can, all things considered right now. Yeah, it's been a time. It's been quite the week. I've been sick too. Okay, let me tell you how I got sick. Who here saw the newest video? Who here saw the newest video? Say potato. If you saw the newest video, say potato. If you didn't, say fart. So I know which ones to be angry at. I'm just kidding. Okay, that's one fart spotted. Oh God. Potato. What newest video? Oh, I forget. You probably didn't get a notification because YouTube didn't hate how I didn't wear my fursuit that time. Because as we all know, furry YouTube is only fursuits now. There's no VTubers. Nothing else is allowed except fursuit. Are you okay? No, I'm not. Thanks for asking. Okay, so yeah, I gave myself a strict deadline to get that video out. What I thought would be a 4-hour job turned into a 16-hour job. And I stayed up until 11:30 in the morning trying to get it out. And then my sleep schedule was completely broken for like 5 days. Or was it a week? I don't know. I've lost track of time. I don't even know what day it is. So that broke my sleep schedule, and because of that, I got really, really, really sick. And I wasn't really like eating all that much. I was just very dissociated. It felt like I wasn't really alive at points. Like it was really bad. That's like the sickest I felt probably in a year. I don't recommend that. I don't recommend forcing yourself to get stuff out, even if you have to stay up till 11 in the morning. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It'll destroy your body very quickly, as it has destroyed mine. It sucked. I went through a lot of pain to get that one video out. And what for? Why did I do that to myself, you know? Why did I force myself to get it out on time? Why couldn't I have just waited another day? Because I'm stubborn, that's why. Yorick, thank you so much for the respud. 9 months in the Spud Squad. How you doing? Can't stay, have work in the morning, have fun, and hope to catch you next time. Bye for now. We'll message you on Discord after stream. Okay. Now let me know what's going on, okay? I have a lot going on right now myself. I literally stay up to 4 a.m. to do my work. I'm used to working overtime. I tried. I usually... See, staying up till 4 a.m. is a very normal thing for me. Staying up till 11:30 in the morning is not. And I felt like I entered the 7th circle of hell. I was like going to the bathroom constantly. I was in a very bad spot. And I was by myself when it happened. So I really, really was just like, okay, just hold on. Don't have another psychotic meltdown. And I had several of them. So that's like the worst I have felt in a long time. Okay, I felt like I did snap. I'm not gonna say I felt like I snapped. I did snap. But like I did not. I barely slept the entire week. I didn't really get any proper sleep until yesterday for the first time in days. So I'm still trying to like gather my surroundings, figure out. I'm streaming right now, right? I think I am. So yeah, 2 a.m. That's normal for me. But I got really sick and nauseous, and I was talking to my friends, making sure that I actually still existed. I was in a mental state that I can't really describe because it's that scary. I could just about make an entire video on what happened this week. The time I broke my brain, which is true. I broke my brain. Very Folf. This is so much more than that. You scratching the surface. The longest I ever stayed was 2 days. I got you beat 3 days. So I'm not trying to say that my problem is worse than anyone else's. I'm saying like most people will probably never go through what I experienced. Because I have this fear that if I'm not constantly working, I'm gonna lose everything I have. And I mean constantly, at the expense of my health and sanity. Stump over there, he got on to me for this. So before we have another "you think that's bad" kind of situation, just remember, we're all suffering together. We all got our own problems. One problem isn't necessarily worse than another, okay? It's not a competition. And if anyone makes it a competition, I'm gonna bite your nose off, okay? Like that one person that bit my nose off at EFS. Okay? Hi Taka, thank you so much for the 49 I think it's Czechoslovakia currency? Not entirely sure. It's around $2.12 US dollars. Thank you so much for the super chat, Taka. So Stump says you have to stop kicking your own ass all the time. Yeah, I agree. Very Folf. This is a lot bigger than I think you realize, dear. This is you. I think what I'm going through is something a lot of people aren't gonna really understand unless I have like a visual, because it just imagine like you're so sleep deprived and overwork, you lose connection with reality. You don't think you're real. You don't think the universe exists. I was at that point. It was awful. So I'm pretty sure there's a movie explaining some of this out there. It sucked. I don't recommend it. Is this my midlife crisis that I'm going through? I don't know. Hopefully not. So yeah, let's just say I'm working myself to death like bees in a hive because I made a promise that I'd be better than when I started. Yeah, you sounded like me, but you have to sleep. You have to like slow down every once in a while, or your body will slow down for you in very unpleasant ways. So I was almost at a point where I was gonna call 911 and tell them to take me to a hospital. I didn't because I didn't want another medical bill, but you know, it almost got to that point. So the only thing really keeping me held together this entire week was my friends. And I was talking to them at 5, 6, 7 in the morning, trying to like stay focused, trying to stay stable and aware. Exhaustion is always undefeated. Yeah, that bitch. Hi Tavi, how you doing? Looks like you're glowing. That's just special effects, dear. Anyway, I hope I didn't scare y'all too much with that little saga, but when I say that I'm working as hard as I can, I literally mean it. And I did. I found out as hard as I could work. around 2 weeks of nonstop output with no sleep, give or take. Around there. When I say no sleep, I mean 2-4 hours a night. And then the final night, I just don't sleep at all. And then I just break. I actually am still dealing with some mild nausea right now. But I'm otherwise okay. But it's been a long time since I got this sick. Like, it feels like a flu on steroids, basically. So, now that we're past that, let's talk about, like, what I was trying to get through with that video. For anyone that's seen it, what did y'all think? I really need some input on this, because this is where I want to take things. I'm kind of done with how to get fursuit, how to get fursuit this, how to make fursuit that, because I'm bored. That's why I stopped doing it. That really is why I stopped doing, how to fursuit content, because, everyone and their mother does it now. Why should I do it? I need to bring something new to the table, just like I did 7 years ago. It's great to take breaks. The problem is they take so much time, and I could be riding the wave now. Yeah, I thought I was gonna ride the wave with that video, and instead I got performance 8 out of 10. Less people are watching this video. It could be the thumbnail, it could be the content. I think it was both, because it was just such an abrupt change as to what I normally do. And I think the reality is, when people watch my stuff, they expect fursuits, and I did this to myself. So, yes, very Folf, it is. Some says I enjoyed it. The person inside the suit is more interesting to me than the suit itself. Tell me stories. I agree. It's a lot more fun learning about what makes us tick as furries, instead of, furry this, furry that. I went to Sears in fursuit. Or something bizarre like that. I went Urban Exploring in fursuit. I took the trash out in fursuit. I went to the bank in fursuit. I went to church in fursuit. And I'm sorry, that's boring. Wow, I may as well just take my fursuit head off right now and just show myself cooking in fursuit. Be just as interesting. So, Sears is not a thing. I kind of miss it in a way that no one was ever there. It just felt like a playground. I never got banned from a Sears, thankfully, but yeah. So, I think, this is kind of what happens when you make the fandom and fursuiting a big part of your life for so many years. It grows on you, then it becomes you. It takes over your life, and, well, as with all things in life, we get bored and we crave change. We crave new sensory. And that's what I'm going through. I crave something new. Something fresh. And, I had a lot of fun actually making that last video, but it took a lot out of me because deadlines. I really should have gave myself a few more days instead of trying to rush it out all at once. But my sense of time management just doesn't exist. I have no structure or routine. Most people, they have a set schedule in their brains. I do not. Unfortunately, change can't happen organically. It is always abrupt. Yes. In my case, one day I snapped and I said, you know what? I don't want to do top 10 fursuits anymore. How much has this been overdone? Pretty sure there's AI channels doing this stuff now. And that's depressing. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk. Hi Tia fan, how you doing? I'm recovering from what was a pretty grueling week physically. I've been very sick, but doing a little better, hanging in there. Hugs are appreciated, but they're not gonna fix what I'm going through, dear. I feel like this problem is a lot bigger than you realize. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's so much deeper than furry uwu hug. You know what I mean? This problem is pretty deep, I should say. You gotta establish a schedule. I'm trying. It's hard. I feel like if I have the energy to move around, I have the energy to work. And that's a terrible way to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, moral of the story. I overworked myself to the brink of exhaustion and sickness and sanity. I got the deluxe package, y'all. So that's what I'm like going through. It's a rough time. Oh, you like the Toshiba TV in the background? Yeah, that's a part of my little retro setup back there. It's hard but doable. It is. The other thing is, it's just, I'm going through a lot of changes, and I'm like, some people don't like change. And that's understandable. That's completely understandable at the moment. Hang on a second, I gotta check something real quick here. Dang it, my phone? That's the other thing. My phone is being a pain. I'm trying to read something. I got a notification and it's just not loading. So I'll have to check it after the end of the stream. But the other thing is like, hi Dim. I miss your face. My phone is also on its last legs. Thankfully, one of my supporters, a total sweetheart, is replacing it for me, but my little Sony is going up to the big phone heaven in the sky. The finger sensor doesn't work anymore. For some reason, the camera's acting really weird. I'm not getting a good signal on it like I used to. So it's that time. I did put it through a lot of wear, so I'm not entirely surprised that it's acting up like it does. But yeah, it wasn't a bad phone. I just think I pushed it a little too hard. It's also about 3 or 4 years old. So, you gonna... Oh, hell no, stuff. I ain't gonna microwave it. I might actually, see if I can still do something with it. If I could get at least the camera working, I might be able to use it for, I don't know, for like alternate cameras and stream? Maybe? Like with the camera that Yorick sent me. So, will it blend? That is the question. Stalker says, what deep breaths and happy thoughts don't rectify external problems? No, but they can help us tame those problems. Hi Christian, how you doing? Where have you been? Sick as a dog. Literally. I'm going to hell for that one. Anyway, so with Thunder, yeah, you're right. It's just, I need to I don't like to just get rid of things, That's the other problem I have. I have inherited my grandmother's hoarding problem, where I hold on to a lot of stuff. And the last few months, I've had to get rid of so many things that it hurts. So I have a hoarding problem. I have a frickin' OCD issue where I don't trust the things that I do. I'll have this problem where I'm like, I turned off the light, right? Let me go check again for the 30th time. I did turn it off, but did I really turn it off? See, I go through that where I'm questioning what I do, and I think this is kind of a byproduct of overworking myself so much. So I have literally broken my brain. Don't break your brain, y'all. You only get one, okay? Be nice to your brain. Seriously, be nice to it. But don't neglect it either. Be curious. Be always willing to learn something new, okay? So, anyway, how are y'all doing? Wow, it's only been 24 minutes. I felt like I've been streaming for 2 hours already. So, yeah, I think tonight, I'm not really sure what we're gonna do. No idea. For anyone that watches me on Twitch, yeah, I was gone all week. I just felt awful. And my friends would not let me stream in the first place. They were like, no, you're staying in bed. And I was really angry. I am not gonna lie. I was like, y'all can't stop me from doing this. And they did. Something, opposing forces, equal opposite reaction, blah, blah, blah. Getting rid of stuff is hard. I have a model train I got years ago that doesn't work, and it's just staring at me in a broken state, but I can't get myself to get rid of it. Whoa! Oh! What? Jeez! Oh my god! Jeez, thank you so much for the $50 super chat! Jesus, hello. Haven't been very active here at the server lately. Moving so focused on that. Have been unwell recently. Oh, makes two of us. Well, the unwell part anyway. Sorry to hear you have been doing the best, love. Hope things are going somewhat better. For reasons sweet or savory? Cheese. Sweet or savory cheese. Wait, does sweet cheese even exist? Is it cheese more like a salty kind of thing? Cheese flavored candy? Is that a thing? No, it can't be. I have to know now. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure it exists. Cheese flavored candy. Yeah, it would be cheesecake if anything like that exists. So yeah, cheesecake is a salty sweet thing. The brain's not working today. So geez, thank you so much for the $50 super chat, and I hope the move is going okay in all seriousness. I went through that like how many years ago? 5 years ago? And I'll probably have to move again in like a year or two. This rent over here is insane now. My rent has more or less doubled since I moved here. But geez, thank you so much for the $50 super chat. Let's see. I mean, there's cheese. Yeah, the cheesecake. I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something else I was gonna say, and I don't remember. Don't remember at all. If anyone finds my brain, please send it back to my PO. I remember. Hang on. I got a package from a certain Kiddo Dragon Fox, and they wanted me to open this on camera. It says, squish this cat. All you need to know is to squish this cat. And you just gently squish it. That's not uncomfortable for the cat, or that's safe to be honest with you. See what I mean by the nausea thing? Anyway, but yeah, shout out to Cheese. Thank y'all so much for all the support. But I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the package. I'm very scrambled, like an egg. But I'm gonna wait for Kiddo Dragon Fox to come in here before we do this. Kiddo Dragon Fox, if you're watching, please let me know. Actually, let me just see if you're in here. Okay, you are in here. Okay. So, Kiddo Dragon Fox, I need your response. Are you ready for me to open this? Are you ready for me to open the package? Squish. It's gonna take me a little bit. I'm gonna lie. But yeah, just a lot going on. I need stability. I don't have any stability. I do know the last 2 days I've been going on a cleaning spree. Doing laundry, doing dishes. Because when you're sick, everything just piles up, you know? And I'm trying to develop like a certain routine. That way I'm like, you know what? I don't have to think about this because I already did it. Whereas if I go to bed and I'm like, oh God, I forgot to do that. And then I get up, do this, do that, and then I struggle to relax and go back to sleep. And, y'all know the rest. Hello, Al. How you doing? Kiddo Dragon Fox, I am once again asking for your presents. Well, looks like you already gave me one. If you're here, let me know so I can open this up for you. Okay? My furry Folf, I feel like I'm gonna cry because I'm worried about you. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. I gotta be strong for y'all, okay? I can't just, like, be a big baby, you know? Here? You are here! Okay. Anyway, they sent me a package that says, it's overexposed. It says squish this cat. It's I have manual exposure on and my lights are messed up. So we're just gonna have to make do. Add it! Squish this cat. All I need to know is to squish this cat. Hello, Jared. How you doing? Add it! Add it! I need to work out more. I need to pump some iron. Ugh. Speaking of iron, I actually just took some earlier. But yes, I need to get this open first. Kiddo Dragon Fox, I can always tell when you send me something because you package it up harder than Fort Knox. I swear to God. That's like your trademark. Hello, Rose. How you doing? I wish I could just bite it all off, you know. Pretty sure bubble wrap's high in fiber. What? Wait a minute. Whoa. I should just, like, line my walls and this stuff, and I could literally have my own bubble room. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Before we do that, can we actually pop them? Maybe? Oh, I think they're too small, actually. Nope. They don't pop. Sad noises. They made the bubble wrap unpoppable now. I've noticed that in recent times. Save all that bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is very expensive. I noticed that, and that's why I saved some in, like, my kitchen cab.
All you need to know is to squish that cat. And you just gently squish them. That's not comfortable for the cat. Or that safe, to be honest with you. You can just throw a towel on the cat and squish her with a towel. What you can do is scoop her up.
How to yank my dentures out 101.
Butt in your head and just squish her tight to your body. Just squish them
only
tight
I'll
to
know
your
about
body.
my dental surgery.
You don't have to worry about
years
hurting
ago.
the cat. You know, just squishing them against your bodies. And there we go. We just made friends with this wonderful little cat. Look at that face.
Look at that face.
Squishing is your best friend when you're dealing with a cat. You basically just lean forward, squish them nice and tight. And again, I'm just squishing them into myself. We always squish that cat.
Well, let's see what's in here. Is this, okay, it's green. It's... You give me... It's a thing inside of a thing inside of a thing. Is there another box in here I have to unopen and unwrap? Oh my god. See, kiddo, you package your things really, really well. This thing could survive being ran over by a Mack truck, I'm sure. Oh my god! It's an angry squish cat. They could see into your soul. They know all the bad things you've done, y'all. They know all the bad things you've done. Anyway, let's see what this is. Oh! Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Read the box. The box is more important. What does it say? Let's see. Squeezy fun for everyone. Squeezy fun for angry one. Angry squish cat. Squeeze them. Some sort of powdery substance on the box. Breaking Bad noises. Anyway, oh my god. Okay, yeah. Oh my god, it's one of those squishy squishy thingies. Squish that cat. All I need to know is to squish that cat, and you just gently squish them. That's not uncomfortable for the cat, or that safe. To be honest with you. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's got this weird coating on it. I can't describe it. It feels like powder. Oh my. It made a noise! Flatulating squish cat wants your thumbs up. Oh, I can't get to do it anymore. Maybe. No. Why am I doing this? The content, Stormi, content. Everything is wrong with this stream now. Everything is wrong with this stream. Oh my god. It's so animated. It'd probably be super sticky if he wasn't powder coated. Well, it's time for me to wash this fursuit head anyway, so... yeah. Hello. Yes, hi. Whoa! See if we can get, like, a close-up. Get my, I'm tempted to put auto exposure back on because all my lights are screwed up. Unless... Why don't I just turn the lights down? Instead of messing about with that, it'd be way easier. Yeah. Those are way too bright. No wonder. I don't care about Elgato updates! I already did a whole video complaining about software updates. Elgato needs to watch it too. You need some updates! Oh my god. This is hilarious. Like, oh! This is me? This is me after I eat too much, spaghetti. This is me the next day. There we go. Anyway, now I need to spend like 15, 20 washing dishes. Software more like hardware. Yeah. Oh my god, it farted again. What? Let's put this down before... Oh no. Why did you send me this, Dragon Fox? Why? You knew I was gonna fall in love with this thing. This is so terrifying. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna set this down. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Dragon Fox, thank you so much for the squishy cat. I want to see what Ted thinks about it. He's probably gonna be mortified. Oh, bless his heart. Anyway, what a time to be alive when we have squishable flatulating cats. Bless. Oh my god, it's so jiggly. I can't show y'all, but actually, yeah, I can. See how jiggly it is? Wow. Why it jiggle like that? It's gonna give Gynax a run for their money with how jiggly it is. Oh my god, Gynax, really? No one's gonna get that reference. Anyway, Gynax bounce. Stormi is a being of simple pleasures. Hey, that means I'm cheap and affordable. Just give me a bag of ramen and I'm set for life. Well, minus the heart attacks, of course, because, sodium bad. Anyway, what happens if you throw it at the wall? I don't know. Kind of scared to find out, actually. Let's see. That happens. Wow! I almost tripped on bubble wrap. That would have been a wrap for me. Ugh. I like my new look. Oh my god, put that away, Stormi. Oh god, it's stuck to my head. Okay. Alright. Yeet. Bounce that cat. All you need to know is to bounce that cat. Or flatulation, as Big Clyde would say. Right. What? Wind that arm, put some stank on it. I don't need to break the drywall. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose a deposit because of the carpet that Ted ruined. Because he has to destroy everything he sees. It's like it's his trademark. It crashed me and I came back to this. Oh, that's typical YouTube software. It does it to me too. Pretty sure my YouTube chat will crash in the next hour and 30 minutes. It almost does that right on schedule every single time. Squishy cats and bubble wrap. Sounds like a great time. But yeah, that was one of the best presents anyone's ever given me. Thank you so much, Kiddo Dragon Fox. But yeah, there's a lot on my mind, but I think you'll already know my life story. I worked my ass off to get a video out. And what for? I don't know. Does it even matter what day we post videos on anymore? Like, seriously, does it really matter at this point? Oh, no. I think about this stuff a lot. I can't get videos out faster because I have a technique that I just refuse to part with. I like my videos to be stories, not, you know, shorts that, quite frankly, most of us will forget about in 5 minutes. Not a blip on the internet. I want to be an explosion on the internet. Not just a little, not a little, but a massive, not a toot, but a massive fart. Here we go, back to toilet humor. Anyway, at least it's consistent. YouTube works, I swear. Me here with YouTube crashing whenever I change a song that I'm listening to. Yeah. I got a squishy burger from the claw machine, and they continue to eat it on the floor because I like the splat sound. That sounds like something I would do, Eric. Okay, we had company visit a long time ago, and we got one of those sticky, hands that you can, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? The ones that go whoosh, like that. They're like a whip, and they have, like, a hand attached at the end, and you can get it to stick on surfaces and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? You used to get those out of the gumball machines. I know I'm not tripping. Those things did exist. And I totally did not chew on them and eat them. That might explain some things. Had a friend come over, and they slapped it up against the wall, and it left residue that is still there to this very day. And it's been there for years. It's still on the wall, and it looks like a Navi icon. Hey, listen, you slapped me on the wall. That was very rude and disrespectful. Seriously, it looks like Navi. So Navi permanently lives on my living room wall. Bless its heart. Let's see. Yes, that's one of my biggest fears right now is the whole economy situation. We're not going to talk about that. How about those Switch 2 prices, y'all? Right. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. Yeah, that's why I push myself so hard. I think about, like, doing everything, but you can't do everything. I like to think that, yes, I'm very creative, I'm very skilled, but I can't do everything all at once as much as I'd like to think I can. It's just impossible. We are biologically limited by this meat suit that we have to carry around. So, I think about, like, you know, changing a lot of stuff. Well, I kind of already did change what I do on here. I think my biggest problem is scheduling. Just getting stuff out faster, and I just can't. Where the other fluffy beans go? Who are you talking about? You mean Rag? Yeah, he had to go to work. Hello, Pebbles. How you doing? How you doing? So, I think about this stuff a lot. Like, you know, where we're gonna take things. How can I get stuff out faster? I don't know. Because I'm one person doing everything. I forgot. I meant sweet or savory in general, not cheese things. Working on a package. Okay, no worries. Geez, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Sweet or savory, not cheese things. I don't know if that was because I read your name or you actually said cheese. Anyway, so I just think about, like, where we're gonna go. My next script is about 3/4 of the way done. It's gonna focus on anxiety and how our brain just does mean things to us and bullies us around. And things that I do to counter that. Which, not a doctor, not a therapist. What I say...
Squish that cat.
What I say is squish that cat.
You just gently squish them.
Squish the cat and all your problems will just go away.
To be honest with
That's
you.
right.
You just throw a towel on the cat again.
Dragon Fox! Oh my god!
Scoop her up, little football carry, just like that. Butt in your hand, and just squish her tight to your body. Just squish them really tight to your body. You don't have to worry about hurting a cat. You know, just squish them against your bodies. And there we go. We just made friends with this wonderful little cat. Look at that fish. Look at that fish. Squishing is your best friend when you're dealing with a cat. You basically just lean forward, squish them nice and tight. And again, I'm just squishing them into myself. We always squish that cat.
Oh, squish that cat. All you need to know is to overexpose the camera. Anyway, wait a minute. I don't know light's overexposed. I didn't turn off the corner light. I'm a dingus. How did I miss that? Oh my god, now y'all can really see my suit. Okay, now let's try to do it again. It's still kind of overexposed, but not as much. Not as much, anyway. Anyway, being a YouTuber is hard. Yeah, that's content creation. That's the game, because no one likes to say the words competing, but let's be honest, you're competing, okay? You just are. Although I think it'd be wise for more of us to work together. The thing is, I feel too old to really collaborate with a lot of people in general. I feel like I have to go to Twitch now to find people in my age group. Where are all the 30 furries? Going through their midlife crises off camera. That's my guess. Let's see. You know the people who say it's cringe to be furries? Future furries. You can get that from me, though. Schmort, I am the big brainus. Hello, Stan. Hey, Stormi, looks like you're having fun. What you said a moment ago, there's nothing wrong with the stream. You're just being the Stormi we all know. Cherish and adore. You're the best. Only sometimes. The pipeline is indeed real, yeah. Millennial Grey Muzzle time. Koji knows when I start going on a tangent. Hey, back in my day, oh, where's my ibuprofen? Oh. Kind of furry animal are you? The furry kind. Anyway, I just started uploading videos because I like to talk about my niche hobbies. Yeah, see, I think more of us should do this, but at the same time, it's probably not gonna, it's probably not gonna make your content viral, because people want something that's relatable, that they can connect to. I don't think I'm that relatable. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm that connectable. Is I just have such a weird mindset and approach to things. Snow is a myth. Don't go there, Yancey. We've had this talk. So people want like content that will like stick out to them and like, okay, this has the hook, the lure, whatever you want to call it, flashy text in your face, doo-doo fart memes. Oh, that's more of a TikTok thing, but, over here, we do things a little differently at Stormi Folf LLC. Stalka says, it's not for everyone. I've come to realization that after doing it for 5 years. Stormi is whatever you want them to be. A Folf in name, but really whatever you want them to be. Really whatever I want them to be. So... yeah, Stump, like, you would get banned so fast. And I'd be like, good job. Get banned speedrun any percent. How long have I been a furry? As far as being public about it goes, like 8 years? Maybe 9 at this point? But, closeted furry, for lack of better words, probably a hell of a lot longer. So anyway, yeah, it's just I've been a furry for what feels like forever. It's just part of me. I don't even think about it. It's like background noise. It's something that doesn't really come to mind often. I'm just like, oh, I'm a furry. Yay. Okay, we got a stream. So I've definitely like reached that peak where like, okay, I've done everything I could think of to do in the furry fandom. Time to do something new. That's why, like I said earlier, we don't do, fandom advice anymore. It's because I've answered everything. And if I haven't answered it, someone else has, or someone on TikTok has, or, heckin' Google AI probably answers it, And the younger generations, not to be disrespectful, but, they're growing up on a lot of this. They're growing up on, AI-generated responses, which really makes me sick to my stomach, but what can we do? It sucks. I hate it. I could go on a 3-hour rant on that. It's just one of those things, like, you know, you could try to explain it to someone. They're like, well, everyone uses that now. Okay, well, who's everyone? Do tell. Headed to Funky Town. See y'all later. Can you get me a Big Mac or something? I actually don't like Big Macs, but so I think about this stuff a lot, and I feel like I'm almost in the Twilight Zone sometimes, because I feel like I'm the only one who thinks like this. I really hope I'm not. Statistics would dictate there is someone else out there that thinks a lot like I do. Oh yeah, I have to block that stuff out. I don't remember what I do to block them out. It's some sort of like extension. I don't remember. But I actually do the same thing with shorts. Not to be disrespectful, but the amount of times I've tried to look up something on YouTube and they just give me a short filled with memes, it's just so unhelpful. I'm like, all I wanted was a review of a OnePlus phone. And instead I got a short of someone playing memes on their OnePlus. I'm like, this doesn't help? Who is this meant for? You know? I kind of feel like either YouTube is broken or I'm broken. You know? Maybe both. Maybe both. Anyway, hello, Ramon. How you doing? How you doing? To me, a video doesn't have to grab my attention. It just all depends on if my brain allows me to watch a video. Same with movies and TV shows. Right. I feel like we're like competing for attention span a lot more now. And one thing that keeps my attention span is when someone passionately explains something I'm interested in. It's not the memes, it's not the constant VFX, which I like to do on my Twitch, but I do it in a way that I see an art piece that I made. And y'all get to play with the art piece. That's what my Twitch streams feel like. They feel like a dynamic art piece. One could call me a hypocrite for that, but I think my streams are engineered in such a way that you can't make that stuff overnight. It takes months, years to really develop something like that. I discovered your channel because I wanted to learn more about furries. I wish I had more I could say about the fandom. Some people disagree with me saying the fandom's mainstream. I'm like, honey, everyone knows someone that's furry. Everyone knows what furries are. Politicians know what furries are. Well, they got the wrong definition, but, you know. If it ain't mainstream, it's a lot closer to being mainstream than it's ever been. So, maybe I just define mainstream differently compared to other people. Probably so. Goes back to how I was saying, you know, I see the world differently. I'm also probably a little biased because, you know, I've made the fandom a big part of my life for so many years. Highly doubt it's you, Stormi. YouTube being broken. Yeah, I had to get an extension to block shorts in my search results. And once I did that, I actually found helpful content again. None of that annoying AI voice garbage that everyone seems to do now. And I'm like, no, stop. Get some help. Seriously, just hire someone. Don't say you can't afford it. You just bought a yacht, you ding dong. But what do I know? I am but just a simple furry with simple needs. Except for ancient Egypt when the furries ran things. What's the internet without AI slop? Heavenly is what it is. Absolutely heavenly. It's kind of weird how, like, you go to Facebook now and like 75% of the feed is AI slop. And people fall for it. I know friends, unfortunately, bless their hearts, they fall for it. And I have to tell them, honey, that's AI. Oh, how can you tell? And then that just turned into an hour-long discussion. It's just, you gotta see it from, like, the average Joe's perspective. They're not highly tuned to everything that happens in the world, especially with AI and whatnot. And, you know, what they see is like, oh, that's just a picture of a dog. Yeah, it's a real picture of a dog. See see the snoot, see the ears, see the fur? And then you have to, like, show them, like, yeah, but doesn't that picture look a little too perfect? You know, the shadows. No, it's a real picture. You're wasting my time. It's one of those things, you know. Eventually, you just get a sense for it. But I don't even know who that is. I show speed. I don't know. I don't keep up with a lot of these main streamers, you know. If you're a popular streamer, does that make you a main streamer? Sorry. I'll go away. Sorry. I'm leaving, y'all. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Okay, bye. Some of the worst jokes I've spat out all stream. Anyway, I'm in my dad joke era. What can I say? There's always something off about the AI stuff. It really is. Yeah, it's just you could just spot it a mile away. There's something pleasing about how people just crudely throw things together because it shows that, you know, a living creature put it together. The way that I made all the art, well, some of the art anyway, my friends did the rest of the art in my last video, you could tell what I drew because it has my rough style going on. So I'm out of here if you don't show high speed. Oh. Bye. I don't know who that is. Let's see. I tried to tell my family I was a furry because on TV they don't talk about the dark side of the fandom. Oh, there's a dark side to any community. They ain't ready for that discussion. It's that cognitive bias. Hi, Tara! Tara, how you doing? Thank you so much for the respud. 9 months in the Spud Squad. Hello, Stormi. How are you? I have missed you lately. A friend wanted me to say hi for her. She couldn't make the stream. I've been very sick. Like, the sickest I've been in quite a while. I'm here, I'm functioning, and trying to keep my faith together, you know? I think that's what a lot of us need right now is some faith. But Tara, thank you so much for the respud. I will be back on Twitch very soon. Don't worry. I promise. I made a story update on Twitch about that, but I've just been super sick. Boop. Yes, all the boops. All the boops. Let's see. It's getting more sophisticated, but it'll never substitute for the real thing. Yeah, the thing that, you know, maybe it's because I'm an artist, but the thing that appeals to me is just you could just feel someone's emotions behind that art. You could feel the imperfections, the mistakes that we make. And AI tries not to make any mistakes at all, no matter what. And the problem is, it looks really uncanny. And that's like, it's like the Snow White movie. It's nothing but Uncanny Valley. It's awful. We want marks of, like, human quality. We want those mistakes. We want those errors. And that's why I should probably stop trying to be a perfectionist. It's okay to make mistakes. Because if you do everything in your power to never make mistakes, you'll drive yourself to the point of insanity. Like I have. Then don't do that. So, out of all your friends, Folf, why would you ask me that? Okay, do you have a favorite friend? Because that's totally not a bad thing to say. That's like saying, like, which sibling is your favorite. That's messed up. Don't do that. Bob Ross would have a field day if he didn't have any happy little accidents, right? My family knows I'm a furry, but they don't hear me talk about it since I have other things to talk about them, like my hyperfiction about TMNT action figures. My family knows and they don't care. They're just like, hey, that's cool. I mean, y'all saw my mom. She wore my fursuit. She had a lot of fun. So that's like the other thing I wish I could understand. Maybe if I was younger, I would get it. But by the time I told my parents, I was like, yeah, I wear a fursuit. They thought it was the most adorable thing. But at the same time, I had long since moved out. So maybe I would have provoked a different response if I still lived at home. Maybe, I don't know. Possibly, I don't know. Is it fun being furry? I guess. That's a weird question. Y'all are out to hurt my brain today. I don't think about that stuff. It's fun as in it's fun to be a gamer. It's fun as in it's fun to go to Six Flags. It's fun as in it's fun to play Mario Kart. It's fun as in it's fun. It's just one of those things. No, it's okay. It's just I'm probably being a little snippy, so I should apologize for that, actually. I guess I just find it so bizarre how people are still weirded out by the whole furry fandom thing. I'm like, this has been going on for decades. I kind of feel like I live 100 years in the future sometimes, where it's just, you know, I feel like I'm in a time warp in some ways. Like, I made a joke. Well, first of all, I am the joke. I made a joke about, you know, doing everything in fursuit. And the joke is, everyone likes to record themselves doing stuff in fursuit. And I made a joke out of it because that's like the thing that guarantees clicks. It guarantees views. If you record yourself doing insert activity here in fursuit, people will watch it. I don't know why. They just do. It's some sort of psychological phenomenon that goes way beyond my understanding. But that's like one thing. So I made a short of like, you know, poking fun at it. And no one got the joke. Does that mean it was a bad joke? I don't know. In my mind, I think it's hilarious because it's just, that is such a trope in the fandom. You get a fursuit, you record yourself cooking in fursuit, drawing in fursuit, driving in fursuit. It's been done. And no one got the joke. And it makes me sad. I'm like, maybe it was a bad joke. I don't know. I have no idea. It's definitely one of those things that made me question if I was really good at what I do. I got really upset when that happened because I thought it was hilarious. The things that I find funny, other people won't find funny. I don't know why. Hello, Bizarre Nest. How you doing? Practically all my friends I have these days are from the fandom. Other than furries, I'm sort of friends with a local band. One person from my high school days. That's about it. Swimming in fursuit. Guess what? Been done. I guarantee you, insert activity has been done in fursuit, short of someone going to the moon. Now, no one has fursuited on the moon yet, but I guarantee you someone is thinking about it right now, or has thought about it in recent times. Absolutely, someone will make that happen when traveling to the moon is more practical and affordable. Might happen in 10 years, might happen in 50 years, but someone's going to do it. And I know it. I mark my potatoes. Someone will try to do it. See, we're already halfway there, Skylar. There has been a furry in space, though not in suit, so we're already halfway there. The fursuit head would go under the space helmet, but someone's going to try it, and I know it. The amount of furries that work in STEM, it will happen. 100%. But the joke is, you know, that's what people do. Do insert activity here in fursuit. And I'm bored. I'm bored of it all. And it makes me feel mean, because people are having fun. They're enjoying themselves, where I'm like, this bores me. And it bores me not because they're having fun, but because I've seen it before. And I've seen it before because I've been so engrossed in the community for so long. So, my advice to any furries watching this, probably most of you, don't let it consume you. Insert vor joke here. Apparently that pissed off someone when I made a Vore joke. And to that I say, go watch someone else. So... anyway, storm chasing in fursuit, that's probably been done. I was with a friend one night, and they went through the drive-thru in fursuit. Now, to be fair, a lot of furries have done that. So, let's see. I made years ago a fursuit and bathing suit together for swimming. See? Been done. So, yeah, see, if you're not bored, it's because you haven't been in it as long. Now, I'm not telling you, oh god, just stop doing it right now, quit. But don't, obsess over it to the point you get burned out. If you do it for years and years and years nonstop like I did, it starts to turn into a thing of, dear god, I want to do something now. Why am I doing this? I think part of why I still like the fursuit is, I see a dingus flap their ears around, It's that little bit of stimuli. And because, well, I'm sure it makes y'all happy. I might poke fun, and just be like, oh my god, they're fursuiting. Here we go. But, it's still part of, the front face of the community, along with art. It really should be art, but it's the fursuits that always gain more attention, usually. I went to the Amazon hub in fursuit. Does that count? Nice. Kiddo's wife here. Pickleball in fursuit? Do pickleballs really smell like pickles? How do you even make a pickle into a ball? How do you make a ball into a pickle? It's gotta be one of the smelliest sports. Anyway, what's your favorite fursuit design? The fursuit one? I'm not really picky. For a while it was kimono, now I'm just like, I like the variety, Anyway, yeah, it's one of these things, I think about this stuff a lot. How long do I want to keep fursuiting? And the answer is, 5 more seconds, because I'm going to my VTuber. I am going to my VTuber, y'all. Give me just a second here. I need to get this off. Where's the thingy? Where's the thingy that does a thing? It does a thing. Okay, there it is. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Oh my god. Hi Shads Doodles, how you doing? How you doodling? Oh my god. Okay. No, I can breathe again. Wow. Anyway, this is the VTuber me. There are many Stormies in the Stormyverse. This one is my favorite. Well, I still like to do the fursuits sometimes, but I feel a lot more animated with the VTuber. The fursuit generally only has a few expressions. This has 50 of them. No, that's the constipated face. Never do that again! Oh my god. Never do that again. I have problems. Oh my god. What if you don't want the chance? If you work the same job for years, you don't want to make a change to a new job. Well, that's a decision that you have to make. Some people are happy working the same job for, 20, 30, 40 years. And I say if it pays them well enough, let them. Let them. If they're happy and it pays well enough, let them. Because it's really hard to come by a high-paying job anyway. What did you eat? What did I eat today? What did I eat? I think I had cinnamon toast crunch and 2 slices of freschetta pizza. And I think that was it. I think. Oh my god, you can always tell who's still in middle school whenever they come in here. Oh my god. The amount of people I have to ban in these chats sometimes. Oh, God almighty. See, I remember going through that phase, and then I grew up, and the same people that still do what I used to do back then, they all look twice as old. I'm not saying hate ages, but it's kind of hard to ignore that coincidence, you know. I digress. Anyway, it's just like the same as the fursuits. What makes them happy? Unlike a job, by all means, let them do what makes them happy. Yeah. See, I might sound like I'm complaining a lot, but it's more like I'm saying this because I want to do something new, and I'm in the back of my mind, I'm scared that I'll get rejected for the new things that I want to do. You sound like you're in your senior year of high school. I don't know whether to feel flattered or insulted by that. Because I am 30 or 40 years old and I do not have to deal with this. Anyway, let's see. What was I talking about? I am old, new furry, crazy. I know, this is something new. What is this Schrodinger's furry? Oh, I've heard of them. Anyway, you're the first furry to help me understand the furry fandom. I'm flattered, but I don't know what I did. But I'm glad my content helped you. Hate causes stress. Stress causes premature aging. Oh, damn, I really did get old. You are 30 or 40 years old, but you do not look it. Sometimes I don't think it either. Anyway, favorite cereal? Probably... Ooh, that's a tough one. I never grew out of my sweets phase, so it's probably still Reese's Puffs or Captain Crunch. One of those two. Or Cinnamon Toast Crunch. One of those three. I don't know. I don't like to eat cereal all that much because it just feels like a candy.
Squish that cat. All you need to know is to squish that cat. And you just gently squish it.
I'm done.
That's not comfortable for the cat. Or that's
kiddo,
safe, to
I
be
swear
honest
to God.
You just throw a towel on the cat again. Squish her with a towel. All you do is scoop her like a little football carry, just like that. Butt in your hand. And just squish her tight to your body. Just squish them really tight to your body.
When a problem
you don't
comes
have to worry
along,
about hurting a cat. You know, just squishing them against your bodies.
And there we go.
We just made friends with this wonderful little cat. Look at that fish. Look at that fish. Squishing is your best friend when you're dealing with a cat. You basically just lean forward, squish them nice and tight. And again, I'm just squishing them into myself. We always squish that cat.
Look at that face. Wait a minute. How do I do the face? It's not doing the face. Hang on. Look at our face. Look at our face. Oh! Kiddo, thank you so much. Thank you so much for squishing the cat. Thank you so much for the $4 super chat. When a problem comes along, you must squish it. That's right. When a problem comes along, Firefox must crash. Because I tried to thumbs up the super chat and it won't let me. Oh wow. Anyway, your VTuber is genuinely so fun to watch. It's so expressive from the faces to the ears. I absolutely love it. Thank you. I really tried to go all out making it as animated as possible. Maybe I took it a little too far, but no regrets. No regrets. Because I noticed that, like, you know, a lot of the VR chat models and VTuber models I had in the past, they have expressions, they're animated, but they still feel very locked down, if you know what I mean. Like, there's only so many expressions. Can y'all please stop revealing your ages in the chat, please? I'm not trying to be mean, but do they not teach this stuff in school anymore? No, they don't. I'm old. Why would they? Anyway, calm down, Stormi. Calm down. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's a safety issue. It's a safety issue, okay?
Okay. Anyway, alright. You can name the Squishy Kitty Squash. I think all of us on Twitch side really enjoy the model. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry if I seem a little aggressive about the whole age thing. It's just, there's some really awful people out there, y'all, okay? And last thing I want is something to happen, alright? Y'all, I don't know if this is a thing anymore, but when I was a kid, it was like a big deal. They were teaching that stuff in school. They were teaching that stuff online. And now it's like no one cares. No one cares. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I don't know if I'm dumb or... Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. You have such crazy auntie. I am the crazy aunt. I'm the crazy aunt that your mother warned you about. I'm the one that drives to the post office at 4 a.m. because I forgot to check the P.O. box. Or I used to until my car died. Not unique? Oh, you saying I'm not unique now? You gonna hurt my heart like that? You know what? I'm done. I'm just gonna float away now. Okay? No more Stormi. Anyway. So one slightly thing about the VTuber tracking, it kind of just does what it wants sometimes. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, Alec Gamer, we had that. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but we had that. The crime dog. Smokey the Bear was a big one that stopped by sometimes. And, yes, cyber safety was another one. And I thought I went to a backwoods school. Oh my gosh. Anyway, maybe I did get lucky. Actually, Autistic Fur here. Don't know if it's unique or not. Please help me out. Actually, Autistic Fur here. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe not. Only you can prevent forest fires. I like Kiddo and Forgotten Wolf, like same braining. My God. Yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of in this alternate timeline sometimes because the elephant in the room that I think a lot of us old farts are missing is that people grow up with social media now. The things that we learned as kids are learned on the internet through TikToks and whatnot. And there is an insane amount of misinformation out there. That stuff that we would normally see in stuff like the National Enquirer that would be at the checkout line at the grocery store. Now it's everywhere. This furry ate the moon. Cops called. If people believe stuff like that, it just... Who puts out this stuff? And how do they sleep at night? They sleep under all the ad rev that they're raking from it. I guess. I don't know. We'll be getting some intense storms tonight here. There's not a whole lot happening here. We might get something tomorrow, though. Or Sunday. I don't remember. I have no idea. If it's on the internet, it must be true. Let's see, like... Our parents would teach us, like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. Those same parents are falling for AI slop. How the turns have tabled. Anyway, I'm also Autistic Fur, and I think a lot of people can tell with how much I talk about trains. Why are trains, like, the most popular tism? As someone on the spectrum, why is it trains? For me, it's telegraph poles, which run alongside trains, so not quite there, but similar. We're taking similar paths, literally, since telegraph poles tend to run alongside railroad tracks. Trains are the tism. They really are. But not everyone on the spectrum is into trains. Hi. I think trains are okay, but I don't obsess over them. The Shade says mine is owls. Ooh, owls. Why owls? Do tell, seriously. Nothing on the internet is real. Yeah, that's right. I'm made of a bunch of polygons. Ugh. And I got fur in my mouth. Ugh. Because loud as fuck. Well, some trains are really quiet. My tism is music and Japanese media. See, for me, it was Japanese media a long time ago. But I'm just not like super duper into, you know, locomotives and whatnot.
Squish that cat. All you need to know is to squish that cat. And you just gently squish them. That's not comfortable for the cat, or that's safe, to be honest with you. You just throw a towel on the cat again, squish her with a towel.
I'm gonna get you.
You do is scoop her up, a little football carry, just like that. Butt in your hand, and just squish her tight to your body. Just squish them really tight to your body. You don't have to worry about hurting the cat.
So
you know, just squishing them against your bodies. And there we go. We just made friends with this wonderful little cat. Look at that face.
Yeah, look at that face, y'all.
Squishing is your best friend when you're dealing with a cat. You basically just lean forward, squish them nice and tight. And again, I'm just squishing them into myself. We always squish that cat.
When you squish upon a star, when Stormy got DMCA'd. Let's not get DMCA'd. Let's not get DMCA'd. It is not fun to stay at the DMCA, okay? Gator Jacket Fox, thank you so much for the $4 super chat. Thank you so much for the $4 super chat. Squish that cat. So, how many of y'all are familiar with the art of ASMR? I know, very abrupt topic change. I agree. Do a DMCA dance. I am not gonna Fortnite dance, okay? Hi Revamped Skunk! How you doing? Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says, hello Stormy, how you been? Great to see you. I've been very sick all week. I'm only just now getting better. It was definitely the 7th circle of hell. I could do a whole video on that experience. It was awful. Awful. The time I broke my brain. I think that's a good title. Maybe, possibly, we'll see. If you want me to hyperfixate on something, talk to me about science. Science rules. Computers, meteorology, aerospace, and astrophysics. Skylar, see, I don't know a whole lot about 2 of those, but I could listen to you talk about them. Marie Vamp Skunk, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Let's see. What happened to your paused fursuit that you used in your pickle soda video? What? I don't know. I don't remember. That was so long ago. That time I got reincarnated as a furry. Alone, I think mine was more stress related. But the ASMR thing, going back to that. I've been told that I have an ASMR voice when I'm like really into something. And y'all can kind of hear parts of it come in and out in the last video. I kind of thought about like making a new channel where I just read manuals with the ASMR voice. I'm pretty sure someone's already done that, but I think it would be kind of a neat experiment. Just to see what happens. Just to see what happens. But it would be totally separate from this. Like, I really wouldn't have a persona. It would be a new identity and everything. It would be totally separate from the furry gig. See, Chris, I kind of understand it. In my way, I would want to do it, just, to calm people's spirits, because let's be honest, we're all stressed right now. Most of us are probably really stressed. Lord knows I am. I was going to do a whiteboard stream about meteorology at one point. I might still do that. Why not? Why not go for it? So that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing. I might even open for commissions. I did take an ASMR commission a long time ago. Oh my god, that was an experience. And then I did a voice acting commission for a friend. That was the most enjoyable $300 I've ever made in my life. Oh my god. I wish I could do that again. How did I come up with Stormy? Oh, simple. I sat down with a friend, and we came up with the name Stormy because I like stormy weather. And I chose blue because I have no creativity. Sarcasm. No, I chose blue because Sonic. And Swirls, Dreamcast logo. They had our Chromia Well, it was supposed to be how I wish my eyes were blue, but I guess now it's purple. So, do you have one of those ASMR head things? I do not. Aren't they like $3 million or something? Something like that. I don't know. There's two reasons why I want to do something different. One, I just want to do something different. And two, I'm broke. I am not in a good way right now financially. I'm suffering. And I don't think there's like this tremendous what kind of toothpaste is that? I don't think there's a tremendous amount of interest in fandom knowledge anymore, at least on my channel. So I have to do something new. Now, will people feel a financial incentive to support story content? I don't know. I think I really have to go with the flow of things and see where it takes me. I have to be willing to try new things. And I asked several of my friends, I'm like, hey, what do you watch besides me? Or who do you watch besides me? And I notice a lot of people like to watch, iceberg content, info dumping content, practical engineering, stuff like that. And I'm like, I could do that, but it would kind of focus more on my life story, and I don't think people are going to be willing to invest in that. You know what I mean? And there's already so much Sonic Iceberg content, it's unbelievable. And I'm not a great historian, honestly. That's a lot of caps. That's the right thing. Are you a furry? Then you're a furry. Accept it. If you're not a furry, then accept that. It's something you have to figure out for yourself, Charles. I can't really answer it for you, if you know what I mean. It's one of those things that you have to, ask yourself. Am I a fan of anthropomorphic animals? Like, more than most people? Then I'm probably a furry. Do I only like one Disney movie with animals in it? I'm probably not a furry. So, I consider that a healthy litmus test to determine if you're a furry or not. Is, how obsessed are you with anthropomorphic animals? Does the idea of becoming an anthropomorphic animal seem enticing to you? If so, you might be a furry. If not, well, maybe not. So, Charles, I hope that helps you out, dear. Chad says, yes, Minecraft was childhood. See, I never figured out Minecraft. Whenever I saw Minecraft, I was actually really put off by it. I thought everything looked ugly. I don't know why my logic was like that. See, the thing is, I said Minecraft was ugly, but I was ugly back then too. So it evens out. It evens out. See, I was just projecting. I'm like, I hate this because everyone's playing it. Why are they playing it? It looks ugly. But I know why people play Minecraft. Because it's fun to build your own worlds! What could be not fun about that? And yet I never got into it. Because I was put off by the aesthetic. Old Stormi wasn't very smart. They were going through an ugly phase. See, if I played Minecraft now, I'd probably need years to catch up with everyone. Legos? See, I think Legos are fun. It's just I don't have time to invest in them. So, but yeah, nothing wrong with Minecraft. It's just I feel like I just kind of missed out on it when it was at the pinnacle of its height, peakness of its peakness. That's what, all the peaking. It'll bring the world to peace. Oh, we can hope. We can hope. Anyway, mostly goes
squish that cat.
To squish
All
the cat.
All you need to know is to squish that cat.
That's what you do in Minecraft. You squish cats.
That's not comfortable for the cat, or that's safe to be honest with you.
I swear to God.
On the cat again, squish her with a towel. You do is scoop her up, football carry, just like that. Butt in your hand, and just squish her tight to your body. Just squish her really tight to your body. You don't have to worry about hurting a cat. Just squishing against your body. Y'all gonna make me get a cat. We just made friends with this wonderful little cat. Look at that face. Look at that face. Squishing is your best friend when you're dealing with a cat. You basically just lean forward, squish them nice and tight. And again, I'm just squishing them into myself. We always squish that cat.
Squish that cat. All I need to know is to squish that cat. Here on SQISH
radio. We squish that cat. Anyway, Chad says, not the Minecraft movie. I am, Steve. I used to love Minecraft, but I no longer play it.
I'm not doing that voice, okay? I can't take it seriously. I can't take it seriously. God. Anyway. Favorite non-furry YouTube mine is Markiplier. I do love Markiplier. I like Jacksepticeye. I like Dashy. See, I used to really hate a lot of the mainstream gamer channels, and now I'm like, I get it. I know why people watch them. They're quick-witted. They don't need a bunch of VFX and fancy buttons to prove their personality. That's why I am attracted to them. Because they're not afraid to express themselves. They don't need 15 buttons on a Stream Deck. They don't. They just need a camera and a microphone, and that's it. If you can get through life with just those two things as a content creator, you are golden. And I think the reason I rely on tech so much in content creation is because that's what makes me happy. Is just seeing all the lights flicker on and off, seeing all the things that I programmed and coded come together. It's just things like that. I had ketchup thrown at me in middle school. So that's something I wish I could do. As much as I love, being a furry, sometimes I wish I didn't need the avatar. Sometimes I wish I didn't need the fursuit. I don't think I'm that good looking, honestly. I think I'm slightly below average. But, makeup can fix anything. As soon as I learn how to put on makeup, oh my god, I hate putting on makeup. It's a pain to put on. I'm allergic to so many types of makeup. And I have a 5-cent allergy. I'm allergic to the 5 cents. Well, there's definitely something satisfying about writing complicated code and just having it work. And then having to go back and figure out why something is broken. And you're like, wait, why did I write it this way? Oh, that's why. Something seems broken, but there's a reason it's broken. You had to break it for this thing to work. So, that's what programming is. I am going to just, rickroll the next person who says you need a fursuit to be a furry. Who is spreading this nonsense and why? Why are you my classmate? And why do you look twice my age? Folf, you do not need a fursuit to be a furry. I'm gonna tattoo those words to my forehead. Oh my god, I'm sorry. It's just, I still can't believe people are saying this. It just feels so dated at this point. Who makes up this stuff? Who says this stuff? Are they okay? Do I need to... Do we need to have a talk? Like, do I need to interview them? Inquiring Mind wants to know. Well, Pimations, they make good stuff. Most furries don't have fursuits. Exactly. I'm gonna tattoo that on my head, too. Anyway, I'm sorry if I seem kind of snarky about that. It's just, I can't believe people still spread that nonsense. And this goes back to me feeling like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes. Guess I'm not a furry. Throw Sonas and OCs in the trash. Filthy casual. You're just a canine. Shade says, gonna need to add extra text in the corner. P.S. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. A long time ago, I almost put my fursuit maker's name in the corner because people kept asking. But I was okay with that because, it's a genuine question. But I got that question a lot, and I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way to cover my bases here. This right here really should be common knowledge, and yet it's not. So, I feel kind of mean saying this sometimes. It's just, well, when you hear the same thing repeated in, an ultimatum for what feels like years, it can be a bit of like a mental trigger, if you know what I mean. Because it just feels like It's been 50 years, and we still have people who think you need a fursuit to be a furry. Who are these people? Where do they come from? We'll find out on Unsolved Mysteries. But no, you do not need a fursuit to be a furry. Anyone that says that is just messing with you. Or genuinely ignorant. Not dumb, ignorant. There's a difference. Ignorant is when you just don't know something. Ignorant is when Firefox crashes. And I lost the chat. See, I told y'all it was gonna happen. It always happens like an hour and a half in. Restore this tab. It literally crashed. I'm like, yep. Knew that was gonna happen. Bless. Don't you just love it when that happens? Bless. Okay, most furries want a fursuit, but not everyone can afford it. Exactly. Most people can't afford fursuits. You've seen the cost of them? It's the materials that are dragging down makers more than anything else. Especially now. Especially now. I dare not look up the cost of a full suit. It's probably 10,000 or something at this point. Well, hopefully not, but I don't think that's as far-fetched. I think what's going to happen is... We're not going to talk about the news all that much, but I think what's going to happen is fursuits are going to get so expensive that the market, like, disappears for a while. It's possible. I hope it doesn't happen. But it's one of those things that scares me a lot. So, having a fursuit really, really might be like a, hey, I wear a Rolex statement, you know? Or we might just all go to partials. See, partials might end up being, like, more popular. I think that's the more likely outcome for fursuits, is that more and more of us are just going to go to partials. There's nothing wrong with wearing partials. From one Sonic fan to another. Favorite Sonic game? Probably Mania. Probably Sonic Mania. That's, like, my favorite one. I could go to that one any day. Are y'all still there, by the way? I don't know if Firefox crashed again. Okay, it's working. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you don't need a fursuit to be a furry. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. Repeat after me. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. Oh my god, that react button. I will personally pin this message. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. I'm gonna leave that up there for the next stream. I'm serious. I'm gonna leave that up there. Okay? That's right. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. You don't need a fursuit to be a furry. That's right. Anyone that tells you otherwise, well, they got grounded from the Xbox. And they're projecting. Anyway, is this like the same thing? You do not need to go to Disney World, Disneyland, or any of the Disney parks to love Disney. Exactly. Not really a big Disney fan anymore. I'm not too happy with their actions, but they're also comically unaffordable too. Yeah, see, Aqua, yeah, that's another reason I feel like I've done this lesson for so many years now, and I'm tired. It's someone else's turn to really take over, like, you know, the furry information thing. And they have. I'm doing the Dr. Evil pose again. That's why I'm ready to move on, because it's not really good for my brain to repeat that stuff. Know what I mean? No new content, only remakes, yeah. Everyone needs to, we all need to be ourselves. Don't be afraid to deviate from the lines, to color outside the lines, to think in analogies anyway, to be analogous. Or is it analogous? I don't know how to pronounce that word. Don't be afraid to deviate outside the lines, be different, be you. I don't follow the crowd. Yeah, not following the crowd probably impacted my channel quite a bit. But would I have been happier if I followed the crowd? Probably not. Probably not. There's a reason why Picari isn't super active on YouTube now. There's a reason Majira isn't active on YouTube anymore. There's a reason, like, a lot of the greats that we used to watch, they've moved on. And I could tell you why. They got burned out. And they went to do something new. Like 9 times out of 10, that's what happened. I know because I've spoken to them. It was time for something new. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just like it's time for me to do something new. And, well, we're doing something new. Now, notice I'm like a lot more philosophical nowadays. If I go back and watch one of my old fursuit streams, it's just going to make me cry because I see like someone who was a lot more confident. You know what I mean? I'll get really upset if I watch one of my old streams because I see someone who's a lot more confident. But the reality was I wasn't any more confident. I just had a larger following back then. There was a lot more hype, a lot more interest in all things furry. Nowadays, there's still interest, but we're no longer focused on one platform. Everyone's learning about furries through multiple platforms now. This was before TikTok and Reels and Shorts. Even before furry Twitch took off. And that's why it worked so well. That's why I had such a larger presence back then. So I need to play to my key strengths. Don't do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's why I'm trying new things. But at the same time, it's important that I not go all over the place. And that right now is what I'm doing. I'm going all over the place. I'm bouncing from topic to topic, which I think is okay on live streams. But as far as like regular vids go, not so much. Oh, good night, Alec. Thank you so much for stopping by. I've seen people do some creative things with dino masks. I won't knock them. Oh my god, the stuff they do in dino masks is freaking awesome. Oh, Yorick! Oh, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yorick says, oh, forgot. Happy Autism Awareness Month. Gotta go. Good night. Night, Yorick. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my dear. But, you know, going back to what I was saying, it's, we gotta be we gotta be open to trying these new things. I have to be open to trying these new things, especially since this is, well, it's my job. A lot of people don't know this, but content creation has been my job since 2017. Oh no, or is it 2018? No, I think it is 2017. Because my YouTube channel really did like blow up very quickly. About 6 months in. Because Majira at the time was really just, you know, popping off. And he saw what I did, and he shared it. And, well, one thing led to another, and here we are. So, times change. It was different back then. You could put on a fursuit, and everyone watched. It didn't matter. You put on a fursuit now, people will watch, but, you know, they can also watch, you know, hundreds of other fursuiters now. And even better, they can get it from a platform where they get instant gratification. They call them shorts and TikToks and Reels. I do long form content because, you know, in terms of YouTube, I'm pretty much a boomer. But I need to get some drink.
Assert
Oh!
dominance.
Oh my god. Voice is still a little sore from being sick, but I'm doing better. Forgotten Wolf, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You were one of the first furries I found when I became a furry last year. Awesome. Awesome. See, I actually slowed down last year and the year before that, but that's something I'm proud of. Like, my content still has a reach for people that are curious. For people that want to know about the fandom, I'm still getting replies on vids from years and years and years ago. That's pretty wild, you know? But, Forgotten Wolf, you will not be forgotten. Hey, that was a bad joke. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Al says, I can't do 5-second videos. Why is that? If you don't mind me asking. If you don't mind me asking, because I agree. But why can't you do them? I'm a gateway derg. Breaking Folf. Breaking Bad was such a good series. Oh my god, it's timeless. The same with the one with the attorney. Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul. But okay, I lost my train of thought. I can't do 5-second videos. The way some people say, you know, let's go back to my Twitch streams again. They're very sensory heavy. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. And some people say they're too chaotic. My problem is, what makes them too chaotic when the average TikTok feed is just as chaotic? Where does this difference start? Is it because the viewer has control over their feed? Because if I open TikTok right now, I feel nauseous in 30 minutes. Literally, I feel sick. And I have to put it down. I'm the same way with shorts. A lot of it feels very manufactured. Does that make sense? A lot of it, like, you know, the flashy text, the AI voice, the sped up footage, or where they'll have the actual discussion piece. Hang on, I'll show you. Where they have the actual discussion piece. Let's just put me right here where I'm talking about, I don't know, the philosophical nature of floppy ears, and then they'll have a sensory meme over here where it's constantly moving about while I sit here and I talk about, you know, why do people like floppy ears so much? And this is usually like a Subway Surfer meme. Okay, let's put Subway Surfer meme. And they'll have that playing on the right. Why? I find that extremely overwhelming and kind of silly and a waste of pixels. Like, what's going on here? I think what's happening is there's this expectation that we want to keep our eyes busy at all times because the algorithm has rewired our brains. You could see this stuff happening in schools now, and I thought it was a joke. I literally thought it was just, oh my god, that's hilarious. That would never happen. And it's happening! It's fucking happening! And I don't get it. And I think the reason I don't get it is because I was exposed to the internet in a different way. But is there something wrong with me? Am I okay? I try not to analyze this too much, but it really hurts my head. I feel like I'm trying to solve a math problem here. People are trying too hard to be memey. Yeah, and it comes off as inauthentic. It comes off as inauthentic when people do that. They're not doing it to have fun. They're doing it for the views. And let me tell you right now, it's a lot harder to make money on TikTok than y'all think. Most people think, anyway. Most people think. I would hope so. I tried to ignore it as it distracted me from the panelists. Someone had Subway Surfer on their phone during a panel at TFF last year. I don't get the chaotic shorts on YouTube Shorts or TikTok. I get the slower, longer shorts. Everything is moving too fast. Yeah. Y'all need to slow it down a little bit. Yeah, accessing the internet via dial-up. Yes! And waiting like 45 seconds for one picture to load. Good times. Or like 4 minutes for a GIF to load. Forget about waiting for a YouTube vid to load. YouTube didn't exist until 04, I think? Or 05, I don't remember. Or the really loud noises, yeah. So, Shade says, I remember finding you a couple years ago and binging your videos. I'm really not as much into the fandom anymore. But I still love to watch your content, so thanks for being you, cause you're awesome. Thank you. thank you so much for stopping by. And, you know, I'm still glad that my videos helped you out, even though you're not all that active in the fandom anymore. I mean, hell, you could argue that I'm not. There's pretty much just one TikToker I actually find funny, Bobby Orlando, because there's something insanely goofy about using random things as a basketball. That's creative. That's the kind of, you know, kind of TikToks, kind of shorts that I'm okay with. But the manufactured conveyor belt pump shit out as fast as robotically possible nonsense, I hate people who do that. Because you're clogging up the feed with nonsense to your benefit. You don't care about what other people are trying to produce as long as you get to the top of the feed. Because you're caving to that innate selfish desire. Am I making any sense? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, Aqua, yeah, I think that's really messed up. Hi, Andre, how you doing? How you doing? I mean, one could argue that I'm kind of semi-retired from the furry community. It's just, I love fursuiting, but only with friends now. Fursuiting by myself really makes me sad. Like, if taking fursuit pictures by myself is...
Squish that cat.
Is squishing the cat.
All you need to know is to squish that cat. And you just gently squish it. That's not comfortable for the cat, or that safe, to be honest with you. You can just throw a towel on the cat, you can squish her with a towel. What you can do is scoop her up, little football carrier, just like that. Butt in your hand, and you squish her tight to your body. Just squish her really tight to your body. You don't have to worry about hurting a cat, you know, just squishing them against your bodies. And there we go. We just made friends with this wonderful little cat. Look at that fish. Look at that fish. Squishing is your best friend when you're dealing with a cat. You basically just lean forward.
Oh, VTuber, yeah, that's their name.
And again, I'm just squishing them into myself. We always squish that cat.
They're actually really good. Kiddo, thank you so much for the $4 super chat. I'm great today. Just got back from Mexican dinner. Nice. Nice. I'm craving nachos right now. Thanks a lot. Pretty much everything is better with friends. Yeah, it took me a long time to realize that. Because, well, I would say 4 years ago, I really wasn't that social. I felt like I was relying on the fursuit to, you know, get me to talk to people. And one day, something changed that y'all know about. It's probably obvious. But ever since that day, I'm like, I want to go spend time with friends. I don't need a fursuit to do that. That's why I felt better switching to the VTuber. So, partly anyway. Hello, Enda. How you doing? Hi, Toasty. Grey Muzzle here. Feels like I've been in the fandom forever. Took me a long time to realize I was. Hey, better late than never. How you doing, by the way? Take the first letters of Kiddo's super chat. You get the word squish. Stupid questions unify ignoramuses super hastily. I'm the ignoramus here. Hold on. I'm going away. I'm gonna spin away now. Wow! That took. How long did it take me to get that joke? Thank you so much for the $4 super chat. I've only been fursuiting by myself. I don't have friends. It was more fun than Disneyland, though. I guess if I were like alone and I was fursuiting for the first time, it'd be fun. But the novelty would wear off a lot faster. Public suiting is fun. If I'm by myself, no. If I have friends, yes. I used to not be social. Ever since I started to use Twitch, I've seen that I love being social and love talking to people, even though at times I just fail with words. I feel like I fail with words a lot. I am right now, actually. What are the odds? I really wish I could share my hobbies with my close friends like art, fursuiting, cosplaying, animation. But I just feel weird and I don't want to be seen differently. It's hard to find accepting people. I agree. It can be really difficult to find accepting people, but I will say when you get older, or at least if you're old like me, you might get this. It can actually be a lot harder to find friends, like in general. But when you do, the connection is a lot more resilient. It can be hard to make new friends as you get older, but the friends that you do make are usually friends for a lifetime. Because we're all out to, like, you know, I feel like when you get older, you go through that phase of, oh my god, okay, I know what this person's gonna do. I don't want to deal with this. You get a better sense of reading people's emotions. And as a result, you're gonna be a lot pickier. I think it's more like a natural thing a lot of us go through. Not everyone, but I'd say most of us do. And when you do find someone, the connection is almost unbreakable. Like, I've got friends right now that probably be my friends for the rest of my life. And, you know, they're all older like me. So, I feel like when you're younger, you have to make a lot of mistakes. It's not that you want to, you have to. Because if you don't make mistakes, then you don't learn. You don't learn right from wrong. You have to screw up. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you have to screw up within reason. Don't go out committing crimes, but, you know, screw up within reason. Just don't do it on purpose. Go with what feels right at the time. And if you screw up, I'm like, well, I did a dumb. But moral of the story is you learn from that dumb. And that dumb made you smarter. Big brain. Anyway, literally everyone I found that's been into stuff I'm into, I didn't like them, so it makes me hard because I'm picky. As a kid, you're focused on quantity. As an adult, you're focused on quality of friends. Is that why a lot of younger audiences just prefer sensory meme content? Especially shorter types? Because I feel like that's a quantity versus quality situation. Anyone can make a meme vid in 2 seconds. Literally. There's so many tools to do that stuff now. Whereas if you try to tell something unique and innovative, you're gonna have to put some work into it. I had someone get really angry at me a long time ago because I didn't feature a picture of me that they clearly ran through a filter. And they were so proud of it. I wanted to tell them, honey, I appreciate the thought, but you pushed 3 buttons to make this. Okay? And I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to be rude. But they were getting mad at me for not, you know, retweeting it and whatnot. How do you deal with something like that? I don't know if that makes me a mean person or what. Like, it's the thought that counts. I get it. But if they're going to get demanding, then why should I even talk to them? Oh, even a lot worse with AI, yeah. I just don't get the logic sometimes. You know, I don't want my stuff to get attention unless I put work into it. I'm going to keep it real. Maybe it's because I'm old. But I don't want my stuff to get attention unless I bust my ass to get it out. That last video, I made myself sick getting it out. And it only got an 8 out of 10 on my popular vids. It was trending 8 out of 10, which isn't great. But the really weird part was that I got over 40 new subscribers from it. Which the math doesn't really math up. Even though it got a lot less views, it actually got a lot of new subscribers. Isn't that weird? Maybe that's a sign. It's a sign that, like, yeah, you know, a lot of people are going to watch that because you're not regurgitating fursuit content. But those that are curious about your story will watch. And they'll come to know your personality. And if they really like it, they will tap that subscribe button. So I tried to look at it from the positive. I was so upset when I saw that, though. Like, when I saw, like, how relatively poor it was performing, I wanted to throw up. Because I worked so hard on that project. I think it's a sign that maybe I don't need to work as hard in the future. That's another thing. I wish I didn't put so much work into my content. I wish I could just make my vids literally speaking without, you know, going through 40, 50 visual effects chains. It sucks in the furry fandom that really the only videos that get attention are fursuits. And sometimes the VR chat and VTubers. But the thing is, a lot of those that get attention, they tend to focus on tropes that are overdone. A lot of the people that find these tropes funny are a lot younger than me. The humor is new to them. And to me, I'm like Mr. Krabs.
You haven't seen this before. Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. 11 times. Arr, 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 arr.
Do you still have that one editor? No. It's just me now. It's just me. So, the other thing I'm thinking, does the editing really matter all that much? I mean, there's one sequence in the last video that took me 8 hours to stitch together, and it was only a minute long. And y'all probably know what it is. But is the editing really all that important? Are all the effects that important? Are all the memes that important? Or is it the script that matters the most? What do y'all think? I think it's the script. What's a video without a good script? It's just toppings on a pizza. Or should I say, oh God, what's a good way to describe this? It's like M&M shells, I guess. The shell is the memes. What's inside the shell is the script. And the packaging is the editing. You don't need the packaging. You don't need the shell, although it'd be nice. What you really need is the chocolate. Am I making any sense? I don't think I'm making any sense right now. I think I've fried my brain at this point on this topic. So, that's kind of where I am. Sometimes I really just want to cut back. Because it is a lot of stress that I'm putting on myself. I need to prioritize my script writing over everything else, if I'm honest. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool if I had an editor. It'd be cool, but I don't have that luxury right now, so... do y'all get what I mean? Maybe? Stormi, I think you need to call it. I think you've taken this far enough. So much arrogance from the prompters. Writing prompts ain't that hard. Are they just mad at me that I can write essays and draw and they can't? Oh, I'm sorry I said that. Oh, canceled. Oh my god. God. The really messed up part is I know how all that shit works. All the neural networking and whatnot. The thing about AI is that it can only do what it's taught. It can't learn anything new by itself. It can only learn what it's fed. And writing prompts really ain't that hard. It's way easier than writing a whole ass script, I can tell you that much. I think my thing froze again. Firefox, why you do this? I think the chat broke. Hang on. How do I refresh? F5. Okay. Yep, it froze. One moment, please. So I tried to fix this. That is only the 7th or 8th time Firefox is frozen tonight. Is it okay? I don't think so. Okay, put this right here. All right. Now I see the chat. It froze for a few minutes. Okay, that's another thing. YouTube needs to fix their shit. It should not be crashing this much. I know, because this doesn't happen in Chrome, but I don't use Chrome anymore. Maybe you can do that experiment, see what works. I put as much work as I can in my content until I'm satisfied. See, I do that, and I make myself really sick as a result, because I overwork myself. That is stressful to be a one-person show. Yes. It is so stressful. With my Twitch streams, I code everything by myself, too. And it's destroying me. So, That edit took as long as all those updates, literally. It's crazy how long editing even a simple video takes. No one tells you this when you start. Yeah, you gotta learn it the hard way. Skylar says, there are some videos that I watch that don't have polished editing at all, but I find them interesting just because the content is interesting. Skylar, you might have to forward me some of this. I want to take some notes. I mean, you're in the Discord, right? Ender says, what about shrimp pizza? I hate shrimp. Rage says, hey Stormy, how would you feel to move to a digital world? I don't know. I would say like 5 years ago I'd be all for it, but nowadays I'm like, I hate it. I want to get less on the internet. Sometimes I want to go back to like a flip phone. Yeah, you're making me hungry, Forgotten says. Aqua says, well, to be honest, people listen to YouTube videos in the background while doing other things. So maybe all the memes and flashy effects are less important. I would say this is probably especially true for older audiences.
Squish that cat. All you need to know is to squish that cat. And you just gently squish them.
I
That's
swear
not
to
comfortable
God.
for the cat, or that safe, to be honest with you. You just throw a towel on the cat again, squish
Oh
her with
my
a towel.
God,
And you do is scoop her up in a football carry, just like that. Butt in your hand, and just squish her tight to your body. Just squish them really tight to your body. You don't have to worry about hurting a cat. You know, just squish them against your bodies. And there we go. We just made friends with this wonderful little cat.
Look at that fish.
Look at that fish. Squishing is your best friend
gotta
when you're
get a
dealing
sip
with a
of
cat.
water.
You basically just lean forward, squish them nice and tight. And again, I'm just squishing them into myself.
We
always
always
squish that cat.
Stomp, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Yeah, I'm gonna head off here in a little bit. Enjoy the stream, Stormy. Have a good one and stay awesome. You stay awesomer, Stump. You stay a lot more awesomer. Stump says, Skynet will become self-aware. Until AI can fix an iPhone 12 on its own, it can go away. See, why didn't we have AI do all the boring jobs, like dishes? I hate doing dishes. I hate sweeping. I hate doing the litter box, especially that one. Ugh. We didn't need AI to do the art. AI can do the chores, though. See, we should have had the future where AI dud. I wish it were a dud. Kind of is, actually, in some ways. We should have had a future where AI just, like, did the mundane chores for us. Like, you know, sweeping the kitchen and whatnot, you know. We kind of have a vacuum that does that. It's called a Roomba, but we didn't need it doing art and telling regurgitated stories and whatnot. People who actually code know that computers are not smart. They're the most idiotic things imaginable. If you want them to do what you want them to do, you have to tell them everything. Right. I don't create content. I just enjoy drawing instead. So basically, you create content. I see what you're doing there. Kiddo Dragon Fox, thank you so much for the $4 super chat. But how dare you keep squishing that? I'm not sure how much more that cat can take. Just saying. Soup quells ugly, irritated stomachs handily. The more you know, y'all. The more you know. Try beaver geography. This guy just has a single beaver PNG bouncing on the screen as he talks, but he gets into some aspects about geography that you normally wouldn't think about. Beaver! Now I have to know. Beaver geography. I'm gonna write that down. Beaver geography. What in the butt are those words? I have no idea. Well, Christian, my take is it can be used to help, but for writing, I don't want to touch it at all. It's a pride thing. For me, it's a pride thing. I don't want it interfering with that. That's my creative side. I don't need it. There are days where I wish I could go back to just writing on pencil and paper, and I type 140 words per minute. So, yeah, I could rant about that all day. That's just the way I think Technology Connection said it best when he said the algorithm is rewiring our brains and how it works and how they work. I really wish I had gone down the tech channel route sometimes, because before Stormi ever came to exist, I was actually setting up an area to do an Ashen style vid. but it never happened. It could have, but it never materialized. And I have to wonder where I would be today if that happened. Hello, Skies Catalogs. How are you doing? How's your evening? My voice is starting to hurt. Cats can't take all the squishes, and capitalization is the thing. I saw that. You think you slick doing that? Al says History Matters makes fun animated history videos. I would do animated vids if I had time. I do not. And I don't really have the skill to do it yet. I'd love to, but time is not on my side. And the elephant in the room is I do it as a job. How do I know that people will stick around if I make all these changes? I'm scared of making the changes that we're doing right now. As I'm thinking, oh God, they're gonna leave me because I don't wear the fursuit that much anymore. And that's really scary. Like, I could just like feel my cheeks clench when I think about it. I'm just like, oh, you know. Oh yeah, Technology Connections makes good stuff. I was thinking of doing some tech content in fursuit. I mean, I don't know if I would. I think the whole doing everything in fursuit ship has sailed, but if you do that, you should do it for fun. You should only do it for fun, in my opinion. I have to consider both. I have to consider what's fun and what people might be, you know, be willing to financially support. That's the scary one, and I hate saying that. Why don't you get a regular job, Stormi? Well, I did. I tried to many, many, many times. Turns out employers really don't like peeps on the spectrum. Found that out. And that is why I don't have a regular job. I haven't had a regular job in several years. Oh, it's okay, Lone Deep Fox. You're good. You're fine. Toasty says, was referring to YouTube videos, no desire to make videos, they're my social awkwardness. Do you play Minecraft? Rage Master says, nah, not really. I don't know enough about Minecraft to really play it, unfortunately. But yeah. You have to consider a lot more variables when you do content creation for a living. They say, what someone used to say was, do something, how did it go? Something, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Love your job, you'll never have to work a day in your life. Well, yeah, I felt like that for a while. In the beginning, I actually really loved doing this. And every day was an adventure. It felt heavenly. I had bad days, but who doesn't? What happened was, my breakup happened with Trouble. And then that, I think, was like the slippery slope. That's when things started to go downhill really, really fast. Because this was also during the pandemic. This was also during, you know, the rise of TikTok. This was during the rise of a lot of things. And, you know, the fandom started to become more mainstream than ever. And, well, naturally, you know, people are going to start to move on to other things over time. And I lost a lot of support that year. And that's when my job turned into something I didn't love anymore. It just, the stress added up. My words. Charles, you don't have to type in caps, dear, okay? That's just how it is, dear. There are a lot of straight furries. I know several. But yeah, I feel like that's where, like, the shit hit the fan. And it turned into something I just didn't enjoy anymore. Fursuiting, like, for content, is something I stopped enjoying years ago. If I wear the fursuit now, it's because I came up with a funny skit. And there's 2 sequences in the last video where I try to do something creative. I tried to eat the motherboard in fursuit. I thought it would be cute. And then I was flopping my ears to the Gandalf meme. Which, you know, I thought that was, you know, appropriate. But doing a whole video in fursuit now just seems like, why am I doing this? When I could just do it with this. It's a lot easier. I'm a lot more animated. And I don't have to melt. So, there's also that. Hello, Frankie. How you doing? You know what happens if lava mixed with chicken? What? Or as Mark Twain put it, make your vocation your vacation. VTubing is cool, literally. Although I am getting a little toasty right now because I got the Kigu on. But yeah, it's this stuff that I think about a lot, y'all. And I wonder if I made the right decisions. I think I'm on the right. I got the ball rolling, but I don't know if I'm on the right path. So what I'm doing now is still way better than doing nothing at all. Doing nothing at all would be putting on that fursuit and pretending like I never left 2018. That would be so much worse. I noticed that, like, the last con I streamed at was MFF, I think, or FWA. I think it was MFF. And I noticed that, like, so few people are watching these con streams now. And those used to be guaranteed 100 plus viewers every time. And now it's like 50, 60, 40, 30. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, part of the stream struggling is, well, I think it might actually be the phone, part of it. The other part is those cons are so big now. There's no service anymore. So, I can't do the streams at cons anymore. Please stop yelling in caps, Charles. Please. The other thing is... I'm gonna go because I sense my temper rising. Anyway, I remember the stream struggled. Yeah, it was. It made me irritated because I was trying my best. I don't think it's possible to really stream at cons anymore unless you're on their network, and even then, it's sketchy. Even then it's a little sketchy. There's not a whole lot you can do. Cons are just so big now. I streamed from cons when they weren't so big. Now everyone and their mother goes to them. Everyone and their mother knows about them. So you can't stream from them anymore. And if I do content about furry conventions, the reach is gone. Because everyone else does this now. I could probably find at least 100 furry creators right now that sort of doing what I used to do. They're everywhere. And that's a good thing for the growth of the community. But a bad thing for the sustainability of this channel. Do you get what I mean now? I can't, like, copyright the idea of, like, you know, streaming at cons. That's stupid. And I want other people to stream at cons too. But now there's like, I can't compete. I can't compete. Everyone else is doing it. It's basically a zero-sum game. One person gains at the other's expense. Yes. And they do it for fun. I have to do it because I have to survive. But now, I can't do it anymore. So, we do something new. We do something that is uniquely me. You know what? Whether or not I'll get accepted on this journey, only time will tell. Only time will tell. Okay? I don't know how y'all feel about me doing future content with the VTuber. Or hell, might even do it with art. But the fursuit, it's gonna take a backseat. They're not going away, but, you know, they might take a little bit of a backseat now. The same with the male vids. I get a lot of duplicate items now, and what do you do when you have 6 of the same Tails plush? What do you do? how do I react? How do I respond? Do I say like, oh, I'm sorry, I have like 6 of these now, and I don't know. It makes me feel mean, because I really appreciate everything y'all do. It's just, maybe it's my fault for not talking about what I have. What if you make them purple? Oh yeah, make everything purple. Made my eye purple. That's another big change I made. But yeah, zero-sum game, I like that. It's a good way to look at it. People at my school hate me because I wear armors. Wear arm warmers. I really did grow up in a different time. We all knew someone that wore arm warmers in school. And it was just like a thing. Man. School must suck even more nowadays. Let's see. I don't know. Back when I still went to school, people were getting arrested for having phones. Like, the cops would just break in and arrest them. It was really scary. It felt like a prison. That's a whole other story I could tell. But that very much happened. My school was like a prison. And this was a public school. This wasn't juvie or anything. First soup and first soup. Have y'all had y'all's first soup today? Anyway. Oh, this is a really good track. Really like this one. Yes, from Yoshi's Island. Still need to play that. Don't be drinking fur soup though. Don't do that. But yeah. My parents don't give 2 shits about me being a furry. I don't know if they would have cared back then either. Like, it's possible it would have bothered them, but I don't know. My parents had, like, this thing. They wanted me to explore, like, my creativity. They wanted me to be weird. And they also weren't monitoring every single thing I did. They gave me a great deal of freedom. They let me do whatever I wanted, but the thing was, there were consequences. They always warned me of consequences if I went too far, but they wouldn't tell me how far I could go. It's like they wanted me to mess up, so I would learn. Instead of, I was given ultimate freedom, okay? They let me do whatever I want, and they wanted me to do whatever I wanted. I think in some ways it kind of messed me up, though, because I have insomnia. Fur meat? Don't be eating fur meat. I heard that stuff's high in cholesterol. Kiddo's wife here. Dang it, kiddo. Fur soup is not sanitary or tasty. Stop grossing out in the chat. Oh my god. Anyway. I just find the whole debacle very silly. Let people be themselves. Let people have fun. Some parents out there, y'all concern me a lot. But I digress. Yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna call it here. It's been almost 2.5 hours. I gotta figure out where I want to take this channel already. I think we need to go back to art streams. What if I took commissions again? I took commissions once or twice. But I did art, I did voice acting, did ASMR. What is it that people want? I don't know. Art streams, maybe more retro games, maybe. Cursed art is always fun, yeah. Anyway, y'all, I'm hungry. I'm gonna call it here. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I will try to get a new video out next week, but I can't promise it will be out on time. Because I can't do another, like, get shit out as quickly as possible deal. I've been sick all week, so we're probably gonna be running behind schedule anyway. So, but don't worry, I will give y'all little previews on the community page as I did before. But until then, thank y'all so much for all the support. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. Thank y'all so much for all the super chats and donos. And I will catch y'all hopefully on Twitch tomorrow, and if not, next week. Maybe Twitch tomorrow, maybe next week. We'll see if I feel 100% or not. If I don't feel 100%, I might skip on it. But anyway, y'all take care. Y'all stay safe, and I will see y'all later. Bye.